Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi, I'm Arif Akil, a beginner student of Sacred Reality and Gnosticism. This video is the introduction to a short series I'm calling Sweetness in Salaat. And to be honest, I'm hesitant. I'm a little bit scared. In fact, I've nearly cancelled doing this series many times. Why? Well, for one reason, it's a bit personal, and one always feels a bit vulnerable when sharing something personal. Secondly, because I know that whatever I share, it's going to fall short. After all, if one considers the lofty position of Salaat, the profound depth within each aspect of this sacred practice, the wuzu, the azan, the various positions of Salaat, the zikr one recites, and the promise and possibility that Salaat becomes the Miraj of a moment. Miraj. What does that mean? That means that there is a possibility that a moment where veils fall away and the soul finds an intimate audience with the beloved. No intermediary, no barrier, just presence. After all, in prayer, who is it that we are addressing? I'm standing before my Creator. I did not exist. If we just stop and think about this for a moment, I did not exist. And when we say I, we often confuse ourselves with the idea that this I means what I see in a mirror. But that's not I. That's merely my body. It's a material encasing shell for the real I that has been given. The real I, which has been given permission to operate this encasing for a while. And I am turning to the one from where I have come, and from one everything that I know, love, and see has come. He is not just the source of all beauty. He is beauty from which every beauty has come. He is not just the giver of peace. He is peace. And for him flows nothing but goodness, perfection, grace. Now, of course, God is with us wherever we are. He's closer to us than our jugular vein. Wherever we turn, we see nothing but His face. And in Salaat, in prayer, we're given this unique opportunity, a moment to consciously experience that nearness, to taste the sweetness in a way that everyday moments often don't allow. Think about this. After all, why are we created? What is the purpose of our existence? The Quran shares several purposes of existence, and one that is often quoted is وَمَا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We have not created man except for لِيَعْبُدُونَ, except for worship. So the very purpose of our existence is to be in worship of Him. Now, of course, worship here is an all-encompassing word that includes every aspect of life. But here's the challenge. As we go about on our days, our attention is scattered. We are forgetful. We live distracted. We're immersed in our to-do lists, our desires, and are unconscious about this very purpose, unconscious of why we exist at all. And sadly, for many of us, prayer reflects this inner state. Forget many of us. For myself, prayer reflects this inner state. Our prayers have become mechanical movements without meaning, words without awareness. Our minds are constantly scattered, wandering. We're thinking about work, groceries, messages left unread. And before we know it, the prayer is over. And we barely remember having stood before God. But prayer wasn't meant to be this way. It's been designed beautifully structured from when the thought of prayer comes to help us get back to this God consciousness, to help us remember, to help us return. How is that the case? Well, we begin with wuzu, a ritual washing that purifies not just the body, but also prepares the soul. We face the Kaaba, not as a symbol of geography, but as a spiritual center that draws our hearts back to alignment, the whole world in aligned. Then we stand, we bow, we prostrate. Each movement, each recitation is deliberate. It's as if outwardly we've structured our complete will, every aspect of our will, our direction, our words, our focus, complete in obedience to Him. But inwardly, how much have we surrendered? How much of our ego, our attachments, our cravings still tug at us, pulling us away even while we are in the middle of prayer? When will we love Allah with a deep, burning, intense love? When will we yearn for Him with the kind of longing described as ashaddu hubban lillah, an intense, overflowing love for God? In the silence of the soul, prayer, Salaat, becomes a bridge, a sacred connection between the seen and the unseen, a conversation whispered in the language of the heart, a moment when routine dissolves and only intimacy remains. The Quran doesn't just prescribe prayer as a rule. It places it at the center of a believer's identity. 5 times a day, we are called not just to a duty, but it's an invitation, an opportunity, surrender in humility, and also rise in love. Beyond the obligatory prayers, there are the nafil prayers, the voluntary prayers, the night prayers. These aren't just rituals. They're like poetry, the heart's yearning to be near the beloved. Even in hardship, the door to prayer is open. Sick? Well, pray sitting. Too weak? Pray lying down. Traveling? Still the heart can turn and raise its hands. God doesn't burden the soul. He gently calls it always. The details of the prayer, the azan, wuzu, postures, the precise words, all of them are like chisels, sculpting away distraction, guiding us towards presence. It's no coincidence prayer is called the Miraj of the believer, a spiritual ascent, a moment to transcend the earthly and stand before the eternal. When we begin to see the wisdom behind each act, when we bring presence and intention to our prayer, something changes. There is a shift. It no longer feels like a task. It begins to feel like divine nectar. And that's what this series is about. I want to explore the inner dimensions of prayer. Not just the how, but the why. Not just the form, but the flavor. I want us to feel the glow of divine love, to hear the whisper of mercy in every sujood, to sense God's closeness in every moment of humility. Because when we taste the sweetness of Salaat, it transforms us. So, in spite of my hesitation, in spite of my inability, my inadequacies, I would feel incomplete if I don't do this series. So here I am, speaking to you, asking for your companionship as we journey inward. May we be among those who establish prayer, not just with our bodies, but with our hearts. May we taste the sweetness in every Salaat. May we worship with ihsan as if we see Him. And if we do not see Him, know this, He truly sees us.